What's going on, everybody? It's Monday night. You know what that means. It's time for another Toypixx live stream, and we're using the Javits Center background again for one very simple reason. This is the last live stream. I'll be talking about the Toy Fair that happened this past weekend, and that I guess is technically still happening until tomorrow, but I think we've seen pretty much everything. And what I noticed is we didn't actually from several of the companies, we didn't see much new. It was kind of getting a closer look at stuff that we already knew was coming out. So we'll be talking about a bunch of that, but we'll also be talking about some of that new stuff, kind of NECA style. I think NECA fired off quite a bit of new stuff. We'll also be chatting a bit about some stuff that was revealed that had nothing to do with the Toy Fair, but is still in the world of action figures. And of course, I'm sure it will come up throughout the entire live stream because it makes us all sad, the lack of Jada action figures at this thing. Now, Mr. Madsen brought up that they were at a specific booth number when he looked things up. I looked up stuff over the weekend that was kind of the member directory for Jada, and it was coming up with nothing. And then I put up something about that on X, and one of the people responded that they too saw something from Jada there, but it had nothing to do with action figures. So it sounds like they were kind of there, but just nothing that we were all that interested in, sadly. So before I keep going here, make sure if you're catching this on the replay, crew, to let us know in the comments, what are you most excited about that you saw in Toy Fair? And one more at Toy Fair. In Toy Fair, ladies and gentlemen, it's now the 90s, and we're looking at Toy Fair, the awesome magazine that is all kinds of fun. I'm reading Twisted Toy Fair Theater in my head right now. I want to show you something real quick before we get started. I discovered this, and this is actual photo stuff. Let's see here. I just got to make me larger. I hid me. Wait a second. Where'd I go? How'd I do that? No. See, it's been so long since I've done this view, I forgot how. So let's see. Let's grab. All right. So it doesn't really matter what you grab. I just grabbed Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. He was right behind me. And I'm going to take a quick shot with my phone. And I'm going to show you an app I discovered because I think you guys and gals out there that do the product photography or the actual photography thing with your action figures are probably going to dig this. So I want to show you right now. This is the picture I just took of Gideon. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open an app that I just found this weekend called Photo Room. And I'm just opening the app right now. Camera roll, select the photo, and there it is. Watch it work. It already took away the background. This thing is kind of amazing. And it was really clean. Like, it did a great job. It does much better than the Photoshop app that I have on the phone. It leaves lines really jagged. This stuff is smooth. So if you're looking for an app that can remove backgrounds for you really easily, it is called Photo Room. Give me a second. I'll find the icon. Let's see. I'm going to just shoot a screen grab so that I can zoom in on it. And that's what the icon looks like. So definitely, if you want to remove some backgrounds in a hurry and make them so they look really good, and even can go PNG, like you can save that file or save that image and drop it in a background of your choosing, and it'll work just fine, which is absolutely insane. I also wanted to let you know when I posted about that over the weekend, Jay Hernandez commented on something and said that you can also use that to blur backgrounds that maybe your stuff's on. So if you have some kind of background, bam, you can blur with it. I still need to play. I haven't messed with that, but I wanted to let you all know that Photo Room app, that thing, time-wise, is a game changer. I thought about it, and when I was doing auto parts product photography, had I had Photo Room, like, it would take me some pictures because they were massive gasket sets and they needed strict white backgrounds. So you ended up having to cut around everything, even if you were using a light table. some of these sets were so massive, they would get to the edge of the light table where it was a little darker. You would have to sit there and cut around all these parts, and it could take an hour or two to get some of these images done. Had I had photo room, it would have taken me much longer to set up the image than it would have to clean it up and put it on the computer. It's pretty awesome stuff. So I wanted to make sure and let you all know about that. Also, tonight, Gatorade Zero. Now, let's get to ye old chat after all that. Not really filibustering. I think it was key. I think it was kind of important. I think you guys will get some use out of that. Let's go with Sci-Fi George. What's up, sir? Greetings and toytations, everyone. First off, I hate that I missed the Friday and Saturday midday live streams. I'm actually off those 2 days, but I had errands to do on Friday and Saturday. A friend, Sci-Fi, don't worry, we only did, hang on, I got to close something up top here. There we go. We only did one on Saturday. I thought about Friday, and I'm like, nah, and then like Saturday, things started coming in like mad, so I thought, okay, let's do it now. So don't worry, you just missed one. You're good, man. To see the Liam Neeson horror comedy Cold Storage. Combine Night of the Living Dead with a fungal version of Slither with Liam as the military straight man, like the detective from Night of the Creeps, and that's the film in a nutshell. Good as a matinee or wait for streaming. Anyway, today will be super short because I'm at work and we're extra busy today. First off, Toy Fair was, that's no good, fun to watch. I'll get about half of what was shown for G.I. Joe. Marvel Legends got my payola for the real deal, except no substitute Professor Hulk, complete with pink bunny slippers. People are already saying this is the true Maximum Hulk, although he still has a waist cut. I want the Punisher Hulkbuster and the circular hint that Dan gave. Sorry about that, guys. Was flipped over to show a New York manhole cover. So, really hoping it's Mole Man with moles related, and hopefully a made-to-order Giganto later. If you pre-ordered the Super Musk from Ramen, I got an email on Friday saying it's arriving in 2 parts. Really? I still haven't gotten my email. What the heck, man? Let's see. Through FedEx from Canada. Oh, Canada. Let's see, if you pre-ordered the purple and green and purple and red arcade edition Sentinels, your card should have gotten mugged last night. The green and purple Sentinels will be good. Doombot. Oh, I didn't think of that. Shh, hate to cut this so short, everyone, but my break is over. See ya. No worries, Sci-Fi. Thanks for getting in what you could, man. Much appreciated. And actually, I was getting weird emails a couple days ago. I wonder if that was Friday. I wonder if that was Ramen trying to say, hey, this stuff's coming in. I just expected emails to come from Ramen Toy at something, and that wasn't what was happening. Sadness. Skew, what's up, sir? Good to see you tonight. Star, hey guys, how about that Jada booth at New York Toy Fair this weekend? Not to be a downer, but I can't help but feel that it left something to be desired. Not as impressive as I had hoped. Yeah, I am a little bummed. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm a bit bummed that Jada wasn't there. I kind of want to know, somebody made the point on X that it's good to move silently and not let everybody know what's going on. And I do agree with that in certain instances, but it feels like there's been radio silence from Jada for so long. They need to come out and say something. It's like Mezco. One of my problems with Mezco is the fact that you never know what's happening with releases. And, you know, something like Batman can happen where he's 2 or 3 years late. So, yeah, there's that. But I'm really hoping that we hear from June, that somebody talks to him sometime soon. Pixelated, what's going on, sir? Good to see you tonight. Oh, let's see. Thank you, Star. Ooh, Pixel, Sci-Fi. I'm getting that Matrix of Leadership. Man, I looked at that thing. I am so tempted. But I went out and I made another significant toy purchase this weekend that maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. But I'm not sure about getting the Matrix right now. I'm hoping that it goes on discount or that I'll be good to go here sometime in the future if I decide to get it. I don't know. I told the people, I'm like, it would be the coolest yet dumbest thing I could ever get is that, because what would I do with it? It would just sit there, but it would be so cool to hold it up from time to time. Good evening, Brandon. Good to see you tonight. Star, I just saw on Toy Arc that Mezco 112 has the Thundercats license. Not a Thundercats fan, and even I'm interested in seeing how these come out. Yep, I saw that tease over the weekend. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a Thundercats guy either, Star, but I might be tempted with a Mum-Ra and a Lion-O. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure Mezco is going to make them look really cool, and it's nice to see that Thundercats isn't under one company's umbrella. Motu did stuff with it, with the Thundercats and He-Man crossover. Now Mezco's got it. I'm wondering how far the license for Thundercats really goes. All right, pushing to buttons. Skew, Jada had more at that show in Europe. Daphne et al. I know. I'm not sure they had anything. Ghost Dab, what's going on, man? Whew. Brandon Star. Hello, Star. It's a good day. What's up, Clank? Good to see you tonight, sir. Harry, the photo app that came with my Samsung does that. Ah, that's nice, but doesn't make the edges good and clear. Because truly, like I've got Photoshop on here, and I'll tell it to remove a background. Not only will it just kind of cut out anything that's sort of blurry, which this won't do, which is awesome, but it always leaves kind of a little bit of jaggedness, which is fine for tiny images you'll put online, but not for nice product image type photos that you want to get to the client, get to the people. So, I mean, maybe it does it, and that's awesome if it does, but yeah, I was kind of blown away. I've been trying a bunch of the background stuff, and that's easily the best one I came across. Star, thank you, sir. Thanks for keeping the people involved. Star, I've got overgear on the brain, probably going to stay this way till December. That's if it's on time, Star. And Star, by the way, not to be a bad influence, but I think if you don't have any Diaclone Transformers, that's not a thing. If you don't have any Takara Diaclone or Diaclone reboot figures that have been made in the past couple of years, I would encourage you to find like something relatively inexpensive, which is tough to do with Diaclone, I'll be honest, with kind of vehicles or a small robot or something, and just order it, just so you can mess with it a little bit. Like if you get that, you might be able to find something for around 60 or 70. And if you just mess with that a little bit, you will see just insane quality that Takara puts into that. I think we're looking at similar quality with Overgear. And they've got 5mm and 3mm ports. I believe the ports for Diaclone are 3mm. So you can right away know that you could start picking up Diaclone reboot stuff and start plugging that stuff into Blackout and Ironhide too. Again, not to be a bad influence. I just saying pick up one so you can check out the quality. But I'm having a hard time thinking about this now. I'm going, man, if I went nuts with Diaclone, then I could add more weapons on, and it would be a blast with Overgear. I think we're both sick in the head in similar ways, Star, is what I'm saying. Jason, what's going on tonight, man? Hey, what's up, guys? Feeling a little sick today, unfortunately, but talking about toys always lifts the mood. Jason, how sick, man? Okay, everybody, you know the drill. When one of our people is sick, we got to start firing off some remedies besides just shots of whiskey. Those can help. I would say we go with some tea, lemon, ginger, with a touch of the whiskey, just not a full shot of whiskey. So if anybody else has some ideas, then let us know, Jason. Is it just a cold? Are you feeling a little fluey? Chill on the couch. Keep watching, though. Good times. Hopefully we can have some fun and help you out some. Whew, Star. I went to pre-order that new MPG 17 Optimus Prime at BBTS. Sold out, of course. Hang on just a sec, Star. I just looked that up. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday. I know, I know. My apologies, guys. We're jumping around a bit, but we'll bring it back. Don't worry. Where are we at? Show me MPGs. Great. Googly moogly, man. There's MPs. There's Overgear. Hang on, hang on. I'm working on it. Oh my goodness, Star. I swear I saw him just recently. He might actually have sold out again. Wow. All right. Let me try one more spot. Sorry, guys. You know how it is. We got to take our side tangents a little bit. Add to cart, star, tfsource.com. Go, go, go. tfsource.com. That's where you can grab some of that MPG 17 love. Harry, let's see, the Sexy Eyes 2019 Vermin Series EAE Canine Type Biological Weapons Atard Hound is up for pre-order. Bombusby is under 60 ship. Oh, that's nice. That thing was gorgeous, man. That's a good looking beast of a figure. Good Lord, I was losing all the words there. Only buying one. Well, if it's that cheap, Harry, just buy like 3. I'm kidding. Clank, I have my Transformers Matrix of Leadership pre-ordered and ready at BBTS. It's just missing a chain to wear it like Galvatron. Oh, you're killing me, Clank. Oh, that would be so much fun. Star, not so sure that keeping your customer base in the dark is such a great idea, especially when figure competition is so fierce. Yeah, that's something that I like that. I like that Jada does the sporadic releases. I like that we're not getting constantly bombarded like Marvel Legends does. But at the same time, communication, keeping that open is a good thing. It's something that Mezco is horrendous at. It's something I don't want to see Jada fall in that same category with. Let's see. Oh, hi, Mark. I know that one. I know that one. What's up, Spaded One? Having fun yet? Have a good night. It was a little early for that, wasn't it? Good to see you, sir. And I know that one. Here's proof. The Room. Go me. For once. Brandon, I'm in for NECA's Fortnite TMNT and maybe McFarlane Toys Hellboy. Yeah, how big is Hellboy supposed to be, guys? Like, is he supposed to be like 7 feet tall or anything like that? Ghost Tab, I would be more impressed if Thundercats 1/12 was done by Mondo since they've done 1/6 for them. That would be pretty cool. I mean, Mondo obviously kills it, and they would charge about the same as whatever Mezco's going to charge. But I still want to see what they do first. Harry, I wish I could actually soften the edge more. Oh, man. It's if you want to try it, Harry, it's called Photo Room and it's free. So that it might be able to help out some. Like I took a picture of the undead zombie the other day and just dropped him in a background that I had made. And genuinely, man, there was no halo. And for those that might not know what I'm talking about, sometimes with those old school websites, people would have images up and there'd be a little bit of white around the image and you knew it was cut out. That's what the graphics people thought of as a halo. And there were some workarounds, but they were never perfect in Photoshop. So when I got Photo Room in there and it was even getting rid of like areas around blurry stuff, I'm legit blown away by this, man. I am really excited about this. Spaded, word on the street, my head is Mezco's gonna flock those Thundercats. That would be great. You just make them fuzzy all the way around. That might weird me out. And I'm not the flocking guy. Like I'm okay with flocking, but I don't know. Like Thundercats can't be flocked. They'd have to feel like cats, which would be even weirder. We don't want it because at that scale, they'd look more like Chewie than Lion-O, I think. Star, I haven't been in the common Transformer market for a long while, but do you guys think that Takara will put up 1 or 2 more pre-orders for the Overgear line before the first wave releases in December? I don't know. It's been a while since I've really been in that kind of space, Star. I would say there's a possibility. I mean, showing off Optimus this early, I would say that he could possibly go up for pre-order before the first two release, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Clank, I need to pick up some Diaclones at some point. Clank, man, the quality is insane, but genuinely go and find some cheaper ones. But when I say cheaper ones, you can get the little figures that are called Dionauts. I think you can get 4 and 5 packs. I don't mean get those. I mean get something that can move, something that's kind of vehicle-ish or a little robot thing, just so you can mess with, you can really feel the quality of them. I mean, they are incredible. Like I saw somebody on one of the forums saying something about Diaclone snobs. The problem with that is when you have a Transformer, and I love Transformers, you guys know this, but when I'm sitting there holding Beachcomber in my hand and I'm holding my Diaclone figure in my hand, even though the Diaclone figure is smaller, it just, the look and the feel of the two, it's weird. It's night and day. Star 3mm ports. That means that some 30 minutes missions weapons should work with a... Oh, I did not know the size of the ports there, Star. That's pretty awesome too, and much cheaper. You might be able to get some of those weapon packs. Jason, it's only 11:15 a.m. here in Australia, so I might leave the whiskey shots for a little bit later. I forgot about that, Jason. I mean, you know, what do we got? Whiskey. No, if I was sick, I'd still put some whiskey in there. I kid. No, I don't know that I do. Yeah, we'll figure it out one day when I'm sick. See, Harry, my NECA Alien Xenomorph Queen came today. So many ideas. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. You gotta tag me. I got on my Instagram emails and I went through and I'm like, holy crap, I gotta get a hold of some people here. Like Skew sent me some stuff. Mr. Madsen sent me some stuff. I caught up with, like, Brick had sent me stuff. I caught up there. I got some catching up to do. But Harry, definitely, when you get that stuff done, when you have some of those ideas, tag me or something somewhere. Or just let me know when you've got them and we'll pull them up right here on the live stream. I want to see those ideas. Star T's at TF Source. Good place. Yep. Clank, I also need to get the new NECA Ghostface and Terrifier figures. Man, I still didn't see, you brought them up before, I think, and I didn't see Ghostface. Like when I was going through everything, I got to go back and look again. Star, I swore off transformable Transformers a long time ago due to, well, physics. I like my Transformers to look like Transformers. Now, Overgear is pulling me back in. They look so awesome. I agree, man. I fully agree. It's gonna be tough not to turn into a Takara snob. Pixelated, I think Jada was busy preparing for an upcoming con related to the cars side of the business. 2026 Las Vegas Diecast SuperCon, March 11th through 15th, Hearn Convention Center. Okay, that would make sense because I mean, if we're honest, the cars are kind of what got them into the game to begin with, and the nice thing about cars, you can constantly repaint those things. Hot Wheels has taught us that. So if nothing else, hopefully they can keep going with the cars and Jada can piggyback off that with the figures and they never lose budget. That's a pipe dream. Jason, the NECA DuckTales line looks like it's off to a decent start. Would be cool to add a Darkwing Duck. I did not think about Darkwing, but you're not wrong. And yeah, the DuckTales look good. Sci-Fi, I want the Haya Ed 209-112 scale. I was on the fence about the Matrix until they opened it up and I heard the sound effects. I am so weak. Man, I hear you. I was thinking about it the other day and I'm like, okay, when it comes to the 4-pack of Turtles, if I had all the money in the world, I would just pay whatever to get them. And I figure at that point you realize I really want them. So now if I try and put that logic on the Matrix, I'm not sure that would get that kind of love, but I don't know. I don't want to think about it too hard. It'll make my head hurt and my wallet stab me. Star, wondering who would be the Decepticon that gets released for Overgear when the next Autobot does. Starscream, Barricade, this is exciting. I'm wondering too. It's gonna be cool. Whoever it is, because I don't think they're gonna miss. Brandon, whiskey, it's happy hour somewhere. You know, Jason Brandon is correct, man. I mean, somewhere it's 5 something. Not quite 5:30 or 5 o'clock. Let's see. Somewhere it's 5:25. Let's see. Sci-fi, a good hot toddy can be good for the body. There you go. Sci-fi, I got a Jada email talking about their Diecast Las Vegas event. Yep, there you go. There it is again. That might be what they had at Toy Fair. Star, I'm thinking that Jada is hanging out with Hyatt at some backwater bar somewhere. LOL, that Star guy is probably so mad right now. Screw him, I knew it. They're both AWOL on purpose. It's all about you, Star. They're just messing with you at this point. All right, guys, I got 3 more to get through, and then we're going to start firing off looking at all this stuff. Yeah, man, Mr. Stabby is an angry wallet. You got to watch that thing. Pixelated, looks like Jada's the main sponsor up for the convention. Jada SuperCon is on the con's website. Yeah, I could see them skipping that then. It makes sense, and I'm sure their car is bringing a lot more money than their figures, so you prioritize and you go to the Diecast convention or CarCon or whatever. So I already forgot what it was called, Pixelated. Go me. But either way, I do understand needing to prioritize one over the other. Sci-fi, it's official. Sorry, I can't remember all the details, but apparently on someone's live stream, let's see, NECA said both Gargoyles and D&D were over and done. I was hopeful that with the Disney, all the Disney stuff that NECA's got going on, that they'd at least release those Gargoyles. Star, Pixelated, seriously, that sounds awesome. All right, let's jump in. Let's go over kind of the post game. Now, for those of you who were here when the live stream happened, then some of this will be going over again. I'm trying to figure out, I've got 3 of these open. I want to know which. Let's start here. Because like I said, we'll be talking some about stuff that wasn't technically part of Toy Fair, but it did get released or revealed during Toy Fair. So we have the Legendary Warrior from the 4 Horsemen for their Mythic Legions line. Now, for anybody that wanted to get the Legendary Barbarian last year, the place to get it was the conventions. And we were told everywhere, don't worry, at the end of the year, we're going to put up the Legendary Barbarian. You'll have a chance to get it. When they finally did it, from what I understand, that chance lasted 10 minutes. So they're doing the same thing with the Legendary Warrior here. So if you want her, and yes, Sci-Fi Muskie-Con is happening on March 21st this year, so be prepared, my friend. But anyway, if you want her, you gotta find a convention, or you've gotta be at your computer once this thing goes live towards the end of 2026. So here's what we've got with the Legendary Warrior. She comes with 3 heads. So you've got the red hair, you've got the blonde hair, you've got the black hair. There you go. You've got all this. She's got plenty of makeup. She's got some extra hands. She's got some kill people with blunt instruments and sharp things, weapons. She's got some pauldrons going on, helmet. She's ready to go. That looks like a helmet. Huh. Oh, it almost looks like a night helmet, like a whole head that you can plug on her. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, this is looking like a pretty cool figure. And it is one that when I go to Muskie-Con, I will be trying to get. By the way, if you do go to any of these conventions and you're trying to get her, my official recommendation is you get there as early as you can, because they will be at the conventions for as long as supplies last. So I wanted to make sure to bring her up. Pixelated TF people, would a Takara Tomy cassette like the announced MPG 21 Rumble and Frenzy fit in Studio Series 86 Soundwave? Oh, you know what, Pixelated? I wish I could answer that. That Soundwave that they're showing looks like he's just a repaint of the first Masterpiece Soundwave. So what you might be able to do is look online and figure out if anybody's tried that. Ask around. I had that Soundwave and I had those cassettes. That's the last time I got mad at Takara, is when they decided, or mad at any toy company, is when they decided to go from really cool amalgamation type style to totally Toon style. And because of that, I ended up getting rid of that sound wave and those cassettes. And that was dumb because they're glorious. But what I would do is I would look up and see if anybody has tried to fit the Masterpiece tapes that are already out there into the Masterpiece, into the Studio Series Soundwave, because chances are somebody's tried. Sci-Fi Mesco looks to be doing a possible Mike Zeck style Punisher from how the silhouette looked. Yeah, I'm looking at, there's a lot. Mesco will be the next thing we bring up here. See, Hilder would kick her. You might be right, Harry. That Hilder's a beast. Skew, for sure. It fits Masterpiece pixelated. Check the size, height of Masterpiece Soundwave and compare with Studio Series 86 Soundwave. Check reviews, too. There you go. Anton, the last of the Time Lords, is here. Good to see you, Anton. I hope I haven't missed out. And the aliens that were pestering the toy show have been vanquished. Those aliens don't stand a chance. Between you and Sci-Fi, they don't. I've never even seen them, man. I'm trying to figure out if they're real. Anton, I hope that you guys have not discussed the Ronald McDonald figures. They look great. Good Lord. I ate a couple Quest bars, and now I'm sitting here going, oh, I don't know if I should have done that. Yeah, the Grimace looks awesome. And I think that's the only one they actually showed. They've got Hamburglar's supposed to be coming, and I think the Ronald McDonald is too. Star, now that Legendary Warrior just needs a Bosley fig to go along with her medieval Charlie's Angels vibe going on there. I didn't even realize that or notice that, but you're not wrong. Anton and the DuckTales figures, they also look awesome. They do, man. They look incredible. Clank, no, the MPG is a repaint of the MP13 and cassettes, and they're too big. Sorry, Pixelated. Looks like there's your answer. Whew. All right, so let's get out of this one. Try and move a little faster. What do we have? 7:32 already. Oh dear Lord, man. All right, that was her. This is, there we go. And then we've got ye old mobster. I can't remember what we got. Giovanni Don Mancini. This guy is like, I don't know about you guys. I think Spaded One's the one that talked about he wants to get all the gangster figures. I always enjoy gangster type stuff as well. Like one of my favorite movies is The Untouchables. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue. So, and the fact that they add, like, when you look at these, they all have that cartoony, it's almost like a mix of realistic and Looney Tunes villain. Like the bad guy with the two dumb henchmen or whatever, like they have kind of that mixed up look when it comes to their gangsters. And I'm really tempted by this guy. I think he's very cool. But these were the teases. There you go with Frank. There was the tease. Now, one thing about the Mezco Punishers right now, they are crazy pricey. So the fact that they're letting another one loose is really good for a whole lot of people, especially, like, obviously I'm more of a Moth-X guy, so I want to get the Moth-X one. But if this one comes out and it's looking just as good, I don't know how I'll go with that. But yeah, man, like they're loading us up. So we've got right now, when it felt like the Punisher wasn't going to be much of a thing anymore, now you got Moth-X doing one. You have Mezco doing one. Marvel Legends is less afraid to do them. I think we're going to be seeing Frank for quite a while, and it definitely helps that he's going to be in the upcoming Spidey movie. At least that's what I'd say. Now we've got what looks like the Tim Drake Robin from Batman the Animated Series, which is pretty cool. Another tease. You guys know me. I'm not necessarily the cartoon or the movie guy and all that when it comes to comic characters. But for those of you who are, I don't know, man. I think Mezco looks to be doing a pretty good job on the animated stuff, but you'll have to let me know if you're into them and if you agree. And then this is the one. This is the one that made me realize, oh, crap. I really do have to start getting the turtle figures, don't I? Like, this feels to me, earlier this year, I said that something I want to really focus on this year is getting definitive versions of all kinds of characters. This to me feels like a definitive Splinter. It's an amalgamation, I'm sure, of all kinds of different styles. You've got Mirage there. You've got the cartoon there. You've got, I don't know. I mean, right now, those are the styles I'm seeing, but we'll see what else he comes with. But the fact that he's kind of an amalgamation makes him sort of the perfect Splinter for me. That's why I jumped in on Shredder. And that's why I'm probably going to end up jumping back in on Casey Jones. And then, as was talked about earlier, Mezco has acquired the license to do Thundercats. Now, how deep they go, who knows? My gut is, it seems like I'm not this huge Thundercats guy, but it seems like a lot of people love the Thundercats. So this one has the potential to go pretty deep, I think. I'm sure it'll start with Lion-O. Like, how can it not? I don't know if Mumra would be next or not. If not, who would? Panthro, Tigra, Chitara, Wily Kit, Wily Cat, the Mutants. Oh, that'd be fun. Speaking of the Mutants, by the way, with the Turtles and everything that are already released or going to be up for pre-order or teased and all that, I want to see Mezco do a Bebop and Rocksteady. Those are some mutants I want to see. But let's get back to the chat, see what all of you are saying here. Skew, Clank, that sounds right. Sorry, Pixelated. Yeah, that sucks. Star, how many lines would the average fig collector need to feel complete? Right now, my primary two are Jada Edge Runners, assuming they're still around, and Takara Overgear, feeling pretty good. You know what? If you're going to pick 2 lines, Star, I think those are going to feel pretty complete, I think. Anton, I saw the DC figures. I'm very happy that we included the Mad Hatter because Ronald McDonald is one of my favorite actors. Ronald McDonald. I was stuck on McDonald's. Roddy McDowell is one of my favorite actors. Man, I don't remember. Is that who voiced the Mad Hatter? Because I know you're talking the McFarlane 6-inch animated series, right? Anton, yes, he brought a toy to a gunfight. Oh, dear. Brandon, he'd probably fit in great with that Dick Tracy that Mezco did. He probably would. I mean, that's Giovanni. He's quality. Skew, Bulletproof is coming soon on BBTS in March. Supposedly, he'll take on this gangster. Excited for Mezco Thundercats. I didn't know Bulletproof was supposed to be out that soon. I was never a Cops guy, but I really like what Big Bad Workshop and Fresh Monkey Fiction are doing. Oh, so many options out there, ladies and gents. That's why so many figures have to be perfect these days, because if they're not, there's other figures that you should spend your money on instead. And my wallet hates me. Anton, Rocky and Muggsy, that's the name of the 2 Looney Tune gangsters. Nice. All right, Anton. I figured you might know that. I appreciate the heads up on that, man. Skew, Anton. You might, Rabbit. You might. You might, Rabbit. Brandon, Master Splinter. Yeah, I am so stoked about that Splinter. Star, Mezco Punisher is what made me drop that line. They put up the classic comic Punisher pre-orders at noon on a work day with a limit of 6 per order. Wow, got home sold out. Dude, 6 per order? You'd think something like that. Hopefully this time they learn that maybe 1 or 2 per order would be a better idea. Pixelated, Skew, and Clank, thanks. All the rabbit holes I've gone down, send me to knockoffs to get Rumble at a reasonable cost. Man, I need to get a Studio Series Rumble, Pixelated. I know that Evan, one of the designers on the Transformers team, said something about it would be a good idea to re-release Rumble and Frenzy just because of how much they're going, Rumble specifically, is going for on the aftermarket, and I really hope they do that. So hoping they do that. But I will say the Masterpiece ones look better, but they should. They're a little bigger, and they're Masterpiece. All right. So we got that all out of there. I'm going to close that and close this. Whoo. All right. I'm starting to figure things out-ish. And that's weird for me. Now, what do I have here still? Okay, we've got what I called So close. Here we go. This is where we're getting more into the stuff that we knew was coming, but they didn't show tons of new. G.I. Joe had more new shown than a lot, but the fact is, nothing that G.I. Joe showed that was new would be a photogenic figure for yours truly. So we'll cover Dawn just quick because I know we've talked about her before on the live stream. Those hands, I'm really hoping that the Operation Monster Force females come with black hands so I can make them work there. That would make me incredibly happy. And if they don't, that would make me incredibly sad. I really want to get this, but that's what I mean by so close. You know, they didn't quite make her photogenic for me. My two biggest guidelines are probably a ball peg waist and extra hands, if I'm being honest. A bunch of weapons is great, an extra head is great, but you get a lot more personality with the right hands. You know, you can do more with that kind of thing. I still think she's a glorious figure though, and so I'm really hoping that some black hands come out for her. And then this thing. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, the Paleo Viper, or I believe Lenny said with this head, he is Professor Rockclaw. All right, for some reason, this I'm totally good with, but Cobra Law I'm not so sure about. Like looking at this, man, I loved what I saw here. But the fact that he doesn't have extra hands is a crime. Like, I know that Lenny wants to do, I'm sure he wants to give these things everything. So here's what I'd like to see. And here, I don't know that it would quite made the difference. But let's go back and look at Dawn real quick here. If maybe, now hear me out, because I love the extra head. And you need the snake eyes head if you're going to have a head for Don Moreno. But to get extra hands, if you could have removed the pistol with the suppressor on it and maybe one of the heads to get extra hands, that would have been perfect. But I think because her hands look like they're just black, you might have been able to just get rid of the pistol and then give her some fists or something else. Like every action figure that belongs in a line like this, with a few exceptions, like if you're Star Wars Black Series, you're probably a Jedi that doesn't need fists, but you need force push hands. But every action figure should have like a weapons holding hand, so trigger fingers, that's fine. Should have fists and should have relaxed hands. And I think that's a hill to die on when you're talking photogenic figures. So yeah, I really wish that if they can't get the budget to add hands, that they would cut out just a little bit here. Like they could have cut out the weapon here. They could have cut out the holster here, and then they could have given us a couple extra hands, and it would have made so many more photo options. I would have been really stoked. But this thing, I love this thing. I love that dinosaur. The fact that, like, if he had had singular color hands, I don't know, I might still do it. I might still pick up one of these and get black hands for him. But the fact is, I can't consider this thing a photogenic figure just because he doesn't have extra hands. Makes me sad. Let's see. Oh, whoa, hey. All right, Anton, did anybody see the Ninja Turtles G.I. Joe guys? They look, they look really awesome. I think I might have to get those guys for the YMCA giveaway at Christmas. That's probably a fair call. You got Raph as Roadblock. You got Mikey as Shipwreck. Mikey is Shipwreck for sure. You got Donatello as Dial Tone. And then who was Leo? Leo was Snake Eyes. And then April was Scarlet, duh. Shredder was Cobra Commander. Bebop and Rocksteady, weren't they Buzzer and Ripper? And then who was, I can't remember who Storm Shadow was. Destro was Krang. Anyway, yeah, I thought they had a good look to them, but I feel kind of bad for Playmates, just too little too late. But yeah, I don't think they look too bad. Skew, if they just do the Thundercats, I'll be happy. The main four and the 3 added, and Kittens and Snarfs, maybe. Maybe, you know what? What if Lion-O? Nah, we don't want to wish that evil on Lion-O. Snarf and the kits, like the Wily Cat, Wily Kit, and Snarf should come in the same pack. Skew, pixelated, do it. Masterpiece Soundwave is awesome. I have it and the tapes. Pixelated, that mobster looks awesome. I don't know how I feel about cloth goods on Thundercats. I mean, we'll have to see how they do, but there is a little bit. No, I don't know. I think they'll do okay. With looking at the Death Adder I have, I feel like their cloth goods are getting better than they used to be. So who knows? And I never had one from way back when, but when I would see figures from way back when, the cloth goods just looked way too oversized. It doesn't look like that at all on Death Adder. And it doesn't look like that on the Gomez that they just released with the, what was it? Basically the Desert Rumbler. So hopefully they look okay. Skew, knockoff is okay if you get Masterpiece or equivalent. Make sure the tapes you get fit the Soundwave you have. Skew, pixelated, research time. LBZ, yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, LBZ? Good to see you tonight, man. But yeah, looking forward to these Mezco Thundercats. Missed on the original Super 7 release, and these will probably be better anyway. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. And yes, Roddy McDowell did the voice for the Mad Hatter and was probably one of their best episodes next to Heart of Ice. I'm trying to remember the Mad Hatter episode. Like, I can picture it, but I don't remember much about it. Skew, pixelated, after S7's reluctance, I want articulated cats that look awesome. Mad Hatter did a video where he was trying to make Chitara look like she was running, but it was the Super 7 Chitara, and now he just mocks the Super 7 running pose. It's kind of funny stuff. I likes it. Skew, pixelated, get Studio Series Rumble knockoff if you do. Star, hey, hello. Skew, pixelated, they look awesome, but can't really do Thundercats poses. Yeah, that's the problem with Super 7. Star LBZ, totally agree with you there. Skew, LBZ, the mutants and evil guys are still out there and great to me, and Smoke Screenus Prime. We just want the cats posable. The most. Bring it on, Mezco. Anton, you can't have a raptor for a pet. Well, you could if you're Chris Pratt, but you can't have her after for the pet. They will just bite you. I mean, you know, that's what this guy's claw is there, and the whip. Like, they're not going to mess with him or he's going to beat them. Not that he's any stronger than they are. LBZ, Sub, Skew, and Star. Thanks, guys, for keeping everyone engaged. Star, what do you guys think the chances are of Mezco giving the Thundercats Lion-O one of those glorious muzzle head sculpts that Mondo did on their version? Give all of them muzzles. I don't remember the muzzle. And I'm sure I saw what you're talking about, Star. Oh, man, this is me. Maybe because it was 1/6, I wasn't paying much attention. Anton, Slash with Storm Shadow. That makes sense. Thank you, Anton. Star, I think the Thundercats could only benefit from muzzles. They need something to make them look like cats. Otherwise, they're just regular people with funky color schemes. Oh, I thought, for some reason, I was thinking something you actually put over their mouths. But you're talking a muzzle as in actually looking like a cat. I got you, Star. I got you now. All right, so StreamYard's doing its thing, where it's bringing things out in chunks. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm getting some of these thoughts down. Now, you guys, if you've seen some stuff earlier on when we've talked about the Origins or the Chronicles figures from He-Man, I'm pretty impressed with them, to be honest. But the reason that Teela and Evil Lynn are in the so close is because there's nothing at the waist. Now, here's what I'm hoping. Apparently, Teela and Evil Lynn are going to be releasing later than the rest of them. So I'm hoping against hope, because I know this probably isn't what's going to happen. But I'm really hoping the reason that they're taking their time to get them done is so they can add some waist articulation. Because honestly, I can look at my Mofex, which isn't a fair comparison, but all the women there have the waist, have the ball peg waist. But what are fair comparisons are looking at my Jada figures, my Street Fighter figures. Every woman there, every woman, Chun-Li and Cammy, have ball peg waists. I can look at my G.I. Joe classified figures, and all the women there have ball peg waists. I'd be willing to bet that Monster Force's ladies are going to have ball peg waists, and the Action Force women have ball peg waists. So considering these guys are trying to play in the 112, roughly 112 scale playground, I'm guessing they're going to need to decide, okay, we're going to have to give Tila and Evil Lynn some ball peg waists. We'll see, though. I'm really hoping. I'm hoping that that's what they do. Now, another one that was so close. This made me sad because everything Star Wars showed, with the exception of what they talked about earlier in the year with Watto, the Geonosian Warrior, with Tan Wei, and with Lord Starkiller, I was kind of blown away by that. And if the rest of the year was going to look like that, I was like, yes, bring them on. Here's the problem. This one is almost photogenic, and everything else they're releasing for Mando and Grogu, they don't have extra hands either. Like they're just there. They're back to basic Star Wars Black Series. That crushed me because I loved what they did with that original wave that they showed earlier this year. But yeah, man, we've got Mando and he looks good. But when was this a good idea to decide you're not going to throw in an extra set of hands? You're just going to throw in one hand. Like, had he had a second one, I might have said, okay, we're photogenic here. And there's an argument to be made that this is a photogenic figure anyway. But one hand? Come on, Hasbro. Come on, man. This is Mando and Grogu. These are the stars of your upcoming movie. One hand? If anybody needed like 6 hands, it's Mando. And I can understand, I'm sure part of the problem is you've actually got to paint these hands. But still, throw in one more hand. I'm all sad now. But yeah, man, the rest of the Black Series offerings that they showed at Toy Fair and showed over the weekend just brought me back down to earth after that initial wave that looked so good. But anyway, time to get back to the chat. Woo! Oh man, and to raise this up a little bit. Skew Star just having Jada withdrawals. They don't have muscles. What's going on, Alex? Good to see you tonight, sir. Skew Star, you mean the Mondo heads? They're okay. I just want Posable Classic. That's why I give Brian, let's see, Eternal Hell until somebody picks his Thundercats right. Poor Flynn. Star, I'm still having to choke back a tear or two every time I hear the word Jada. Hopefully, what Pixel pointed out about JadaCon is the reason why they were a no-show at New York Toy Fair. I gotta think that's what it is, but I don't know. I wish there's so many times that this stuff gets brought up that I just wish I were there in the room, just sitting against the wall, just listening. You know, it would have been, okay, so I have a gut feeling just based on things that June has said in the past. Like one of the first interviews I ever heard from June was he said he would pick up figures, like he'd buy figures from other companies and like look at them and really examine them and try and figure out where he would make the articulation better in spots. So I just think June is crazy competitive. I'd be willing to bet he wanted to be at New York Toy Fair and was overruled. And I'd also be willing to bet June is picking up Storm Arena action figures and trying to figure out how he can improve on them. I think he is Jada Toys' secret weapon, and if they ever let him go, that's going to be a problem for them. But yeah, man, I think I don't think on one hand we have anything to worry about. On the other hand, I want to hear something. LBZ, Mezco Toys did Thundercats Classics back in 2017. It didn't do well, but here's hoping the 112 collective line will do them justice this time. I gotta think so, LBZ. I mean, people love the 112 collective line, and truly, like, it seems a lot of people love Thundercats. It was that show that was on in the afternoon, either before or after my shows, my real shows, G.I. Joe and Transformers. So I'd watch it, but I wasn't hyped about Thundercats like I was the others. T. Skew nailed the look, but can't pose. Yeah, sadness. Anton, yes, these are the new He-Man figures. I think you'll be very excited, Dave, because Skeletor's mouth moves. you know what? I saw Pixel Dan's video where he showed us the articulation for He-Man and Battle Cat. It looks good, but you can tell that Pixel Dan, I'm sure he's handled way more figures than any of us can think of. But when you're a guy that specializes in Motu and TMNT, you've never really messed with much with crazy articulation. So when he was messing with the butterfly joints and all that, I don't think he really, it's not that he didn't know how to do it. It's that I'm watching with this incredibly discerning eye on what's going on with the butterfly joints. And he didn't really push them to see, like, you know, where you get that top view to find out if they cross and all that stuff. He didn't do that. And I'm watching just going, come on, butterfly joints, come on. But I think they're going to be really good. That was something Brick sent me earlier, was that video, and I'd already seen it, but the way that, like, the ball peg waist that He-Man's got, man, I mean, I'm really excited. And something else that was in another Pixel Dan video is that they said that they're just, the Mattel people, the Motu people, said they're just focusing on the movie line this year. But after that, it's possible and likely that they'll start doing other things with the Masters of the Universe Chronicles line after the movie, like in the future. So I'm really excited about what comes after the movie, though I will admit I'm still tempted to get that Battle Cat. But the problem is, if I get that Battle Cat, I'm getting that He-Man. And if I get that He-Man, I'm getting that Skeletor. This is why rabbit holes are so tricky. Star, yeah, they gave Lion-O a head sculpt with a cat's muzzle. I love that one, hoping that Mezco goes that route. Wonder how many heads. Mezco usually does at least 2 or 3 extra heads, right? Brandon, you mean Hasbro is cutting corners? I know. I too am stunned. Skew LBZ, I really hope so too. If not, Mondo, make 1/12 Thundercats. Something's gonna. I think Mezco's gonna do a good job, to be real honest with you. LBZ for real. Skew Star. All head okay. Star, Skew, the Mondos don't pose well? Whew, I was on the fence with those for so long. Glad you said something. Actually, I'd say he was probably saying the Super 7s don't pose well. Just because, well, frankly, because they don't. They're Super 7. Super 7's kind of like McFarlane, except slightly softer sculpts, I would say. Neither poses great, but Super 7, it's almost a conscious decision. Like, McFarlane wants to make statues, I think. I wish he would. Some of the stuff I saw from his booth looked really good. But something I wanted to bring up about what happened watching, I did watch the Pixel Dan video where he talked to Brian Flynn about Super 7, and they didn't really say much controversial. It was just the content of the video where it seemed like Super 7 was talking a lot more about reaction and a lot more about blind boxes than they were Ultimates. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, they still talked about upcoming TMNT Ultimates, and I think there was Tiger Sharks, maybe another line or two that they were talking about, but the video really focused on reaction and blind boxes. So I'm wondering if they've decided maybe their Ultimates just kind of, they're going to make a lot fewer of them because they're not doing so hot in the market. I'm not sure. I'm curious. That's total speculation. It was just a casual observation where I'm watching going, they're talking a lot about blind boxes and reaction here. Oh, if you're a Transformers fan, I'm sorry I said reactivate. Skew Zedu. Skew S7 equals don't pose. I figured Skew. They're 1/6, not 1/12 yet. Star, Skew, still waiting to hear something positive about Super 7. I did see one figure, Star, but I don't think you're really doing the TMNT thing, or I haven't heard you say much about them. But the Wingnut and Screw Loose that Super 7 released, I've never heard anything bad about that set. Like, most of the time, there's mixed reaction on everything that I've seen that they've released, because I've been interested in some of their stuff. That's the one thing that no one has said anything bad about that I've heard. Skew, the sculpts they nailed with TMNT 2002-3. They showed they can add articulation. Let's see, just won't add it to their awesome sculpts. Ah, yes, Skew, Star, S7 killed the Thunder Tank in Cat's Lair, and most get from Super 7 is the Party Wagon. I think that would go well with the Mesco Turtles, believe it or not. Ghost have a lot of the requests for the, or a lot of the repeats for the movie Mandalorian versus Grogu, Dawn of Roscon. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that movie. I want it to do well, but I'm not so sure after that last season that people are super stoked about Mando. Star, great job. Ghost have Bandai also made some announcements this weekend announcing they're making Gavin Infinite figures and the Figure Rise Magna Garuru, and it can combine with Kaiser Gray to form Susanoo. Huh. I don't know what many of those words mean, Ghost Av, and that's probably why I did see Tamashi had some stuff going on, but I got so lost in what we knew, what we didn't already know. I'm glad you were able to clear some of that up because I was like, man, what do I say about these guys? Star, thinking of a Motu Thundercats crossover, I wonder how the Thundercats would feel seeing Motu Battle Cat being just a mount slash weapon. Ooh, that kinship might prove to be problematic in future relations. You know what? That would be kind of funny. I wonder if that's why with that mix they had to make Battle Cat a bipedal figure. Pixelated. I could believe Mondo's not posing well. Nostalgia Unboxed videos on the 1/6 X-Men didn't seem super posable. Ugh, ugh, that's too bad. They look pretty. LBZ, I figured 1/6 Mondos were barely posable action figures, but look great. Skew, he wouldn't react to the feedback and market. That's what happened to Ultimates. Gotta do that, and he'd see more sales. That's kind of, I mean, I just wish I knew what was going on there, you know? Yeah, I figured that's who you were going with, Skew. Ghost Tab, I can say something positive on Super 7. They are good figures when they are 50% off. Nice. Mr. Madsen, Jada disappointment. Yeah, there's all the sadness. But Pixelated brought up a good point, and Sci-Fi echoed it. There's help us out. Help me out with the name of that convention again, guys. I can't remember what it was called. But Jada is the title sponsor of a convention that has to do with their cars that they'll have there. And that is in mid-March, beginning slash middle of March. So what popular theory is here from these guys is maybe what was going on was instead of Toy Fair, they were prepping for that because that's going to be, I mean, Jada's Cars is kind of what brought them to the dance, so to speak. So I'm sure they take up or they make Jada a lot more money than their figures do. So when you triage it that way, it does make sense. Again, it's all speculation, but I'm hoping that's why. Skew goes to this facts. Skew, Mr. Manson Star facts at Toypixx. Ah, yes. Star LBZ Mondo 1/6 are too expensive to be lacking in any category. They should really fix that if they want a future in that market. People seem to be geeked about them. I don't know. Do most Mondos sell out, guys? LBZ, I totally agree, Skew. Star goes to reaching? LOL. Oh dear. Skew, Brutal Realms is about to shake them all up with beefy articulation. They will quietly add articulation because of Action Force, AWOC, Monster Force, etc. Pixelated Ghost Tab, that's a good point. Super 7 G.I. Joe at a low enough price are kind of fun. They ship with a lot of Sumbo specific accessories. And that's true. Okay, so that was everything in the so close category. Now, let me go get rid of that window. We're almost to the stuff that I actually figure is photogenic. This category is kind of possibly, but probably, I think is what I would call this. Possibly photogenic, probably photogenic. And we're starting here with the DuckTales line from NECA because they do look really good. They're probably not going to be crazy articulated because NECA never goes crazy articulated, but they have that look down so well, and they probably are going to be articulated enough when it comes to the DuckTales. So we've got Gizmo Duck and we've got Huey. And then we've got Launchpad and Louie. And we've got Scrooge and Dewey. And I still, looking at Scrooge, Scrooge is like, I almost want that Scrooge. My very favorite Disney character of all time is Stitch. But Scrooge, he's up there. He's up there. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about these. DuckTales isn't something that I would get into probably, but the looks of these is so good that I am tempted. Now, we've got the McDonald's Grimace, which looks fantastic. This is from Toy Bro Reviews. Let me go back. I want to make sure and give credit. That was Toy Bro Reviews on X. The DuckTales were from Instagram. Rob D Toys is the account. So Toy Bro shot that. You can see we're going to get an Ultimates Hamburglar. I believe we're going to get an Ultimates Ronald McDonald as well. And then we've got that Rob D Toys again from Instagram for the Muppet shot here of Gonzo, which you guys know me. Muppets is what's up. So I probably will start picking up some of the Muppets for sure. And then we've got this one from Preternia because we've got the Phenomena guys. Doot, 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 doot. Phenomena. Doot, 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 doot. Then we've got Miss Piggy from Rob D Toys again. You guys know this was probably, honestly, the highlight. Somebody asked me what the highlight was to me when it came to Toy Fair. Honestly, probably this Muppets line. And then second was the Splinter announcement from Mezco. So yeah, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Skew Savage Crucible too. Oh man, I need this. I need that Paranoid to show up, to be honest. Star Jada Figs don't make as much as their cars do. Well, not with that attitude. Come on, Jada. I'm just saying, I think I'd be willing to bet because cars are so small, so cheap to make compared to figures, and you can repaint them over and over. And we all saw Jada cars and little die-cast figures before we ever saw action figures. I have to think that Jada cars is what pays the bills in that headquarters, in that building, in that business. But hopefully, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I would like to see action figures take up a bigger chunk of the Jada pie. But at the same time, I always worry that I don't want them to expand so quickly that they start not doing as well for each figure. That's why I'm okay with the trickle release schedule. But like we talked about, I'm good with the trickle release. I just think they need to be communicating a little bit more. That's how Marvel Legends is able to stay so hyped up, I think, is they talk a lot to their fans. Brandon, I never knew Jada Toys started out doing just cars. It's almost like when Amazon just sold books. And Brandon, to be perfectly honest, I think it was just cars. I'm not sure, but I know that cars seems to be what their big deal is. You'll also find like metal figures, and like you can go to a place like Walgreens and find a pack of 20 Jada metal figures for, I think I've seen G.I. Joe, I think I've seen Marvel, all kinds of characters. So they do get some licenses, but it's not like they go crazy with action figures. Cars does seem to be the number one thing. Ghost Tab Pixelated. If Super 7 were $30, most people would think better of them. They are good figures. It's just at prices. Let's see, its prices too puts them on the spotlight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would. I still probably wouldn't get Super 7 just because of how limited their articulation is. I love all the accessories they used to come with, but yeah, the articulation would put me off at $20. That said, if I were somebody that just collected and wanted to put stuff on a shelf, Super 7's probably something that I would go for. Brandon, Gizmo Duck, nice. Yep. Yeah, it's rad. Skew, stupendous DuckTales and Muppets. Yep. Anton, the Phenomena guys, and Miss Piggy. It's good times, Anton. Brandon, after seeing Launchpad not doing Darkwing Duck would be leaving money on the table. You know what? That's true. I didn't think about that. I did know when I saw Launchpad, I'm like, I know he was in something else. I think I totally blanked on Darkwing. Skew, bring on Darkwing and Gummy Bears for Brick Something. Hopping here and there and everywhere. That's all I got. I sounded like a smoker trying to sing Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears hopping here and there and everywhere. Anyway, Skew, loving McDonald's too. It's so wacky that they got McDonald's. I was totally thrown off by that. Pixelated, love the looks on the DuckTales, but those prices are going to get stale pretty fast without articulation. That's the thing. Like, that's why I said probably Photogenic, because they're probably going to come with quite a few accessories. But the fact that they don't move, like, it's one thing for Grimace to not be able to move. Grimace never could move. But DuckTales, they could move. So it's going to be interesting to see reviews when those come out. Ghost have Gizmo Duck and Scrooge. Let's see, it's a lot for me. I always hate Louie, Dewey, and Bluey. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Let's just say that. Sorry, Ghost have. So they are a pass. What sucks is they come in 2-packs. So they're a pass, but you'll have to find a way to get rid of Dewey. And who is it that comes with Launchpad? You'll have to find a way to get rid of Dewey and Louie. Which, I mean, maybe that'll be pretty easy. I don't know. Anton, does DuckTale figures look like right out of the TV screen? So they just walked right out, said to us, hey, buy us. Yeah, they look pretty good. They look phenomena or phenomenal. I like to say phenomena. It makes me happy. Skew, Dave, Flint versus Duke dance battle and Sesame Street versus Muppets War. Epic photos. Duke versus Flint dance battle. The phenomena. Skew, I like it. Now that's what's up. Duke versus Flint. The background is a bunch of just totally cotton and Sesame Street characters just with their heads cut off, and the Muppets just chilling in the background watching the dance battle with the Phenomena guys singing. I think we're onto something, Skew. I like it very much. Ghost Tab, NECA is doing the Muppets. I can finally work on my Muppets and Sesame Street Civil War fight. And yes, most of them are packing heat. See, Ghost Tab, that's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking this could be just a blast. I think we're on the same wavelength here. Although I don't know about you, Muppets are winning on my war. Like, and it wouldn't even be a contest. See, Civil War. Oh, Civil War diorama. See, that would be fun too. Dress them all up in like, oh man. Having Kermit running up with a hat, like, yeah. I'm thinking Gettysburg with the Muppets and Sesame Street characters. Probably not the right thing to think about. Star, I hope those McDonald's figs aren't as pricey as their food. Hey-oh. That's fair. That is fair, Star. They've really gotten absurd. If so, I'll just wait for Burger King to release theirs. Well, Burger King's really nasty. McDonald's is nasty, but Burger King's really nasty. Actually, I shouldn't say that. The reason I don't like Burger King these days is in college, there was a Burger King right inside the lounge, so I was there every day, and I just straight up got sick of it. Skew, Pixelated, they never learn. Put the action, let's see, figure, put the action in figure. Still might get these, but yeah, put articulation, please. That's the thing with NECA. Like, that's where they fall short. I wish they would really step it up in the articulation game. Anton, and notice with the Ronald McDonald figures, they have a Happy Meal with them. That's awesome. I did not notice that. Hang on. I want to go back to that and see, because I did not. No, here's the thing. So these here, Anton, on the left, those are kind of like the Ben Cooper kids. Like, they're kids basically wearing costumes, and those are little trick-or-treat pails. So I'm hoping, like, I think that would be an amazing accessory if Grimace here came with just a Happy Meal box. And if they've got the license to do Ronald McDonald, Gizmo, they're putting the McDonald's logo here. Somebody here is coming with a Happy Meal. They'll probably all come with a Happy Meal. So I think we're going to be good. But just so you're aware, these things here on the left are just like trick-or-treat pails just because these are kids in costumes. But I bet you're right anyway. I'd be willing to bet these guys are coming with the good stuff. We're going to get Happy Meals with our figures, man. All right, Brandon, those tiny cars you mentioned. I have a 56 Porsche, a 78 Corvette, and a car from Knight Rider that I got from Walgreens. They might have been Jada. You know what? Jada does a lot of the licensed, like the 80s stuff. Like they've done a Turtles band. They did the 89 Batmobile. I think they did the 66 Batmobile too. So it's possible. I don't know if they did a car, but it wouldn't put it past them to have done it. And yeah, man, I mean, a 56 Porsche, 78 Corvette, it's possible they did that too. I'd just check them all. The car, I would say, has a really good chance of being Jada, though. I don't know. Now that I say that, I think there's a possibility. Skew Grimace with ab crunch. Never mind. Well, now we're just breaking physics, Skew. I don't know what you're thinking. Pixelated, no lie. I always wanted a Junior Woodchuck guidebook when I was a kid. Junior Woodchuck. Why don't I know that? I've heard it, but I can't picture it at all. Pixelated, help me out. Skew Grimace's jokes, though. Add these together, the skits write themselves. That's true. That's true. Star, did the McDonald's figs come with extra hands? You know what? They didn't show anything, but NECA has a habit of not showing that stuff. They've got to. It's a NECA thing. That's why they're in here as possible but probable for photogenic figures. Like, I'm sure all these NECA figures are going to be loaded with accessories. That's the one way that NECA beats Super 7, I think. Well, NECA beats Super 7 with paint and a lot of other stuff too. But with the accessory count and with the paint and articulation, the two are kind of tied. Maybe NECA's even a little better than Super 7. And that's the problem, is Super 7 is still more expensive than NECA. So yeah, there's that. But yes, I believe that NECA, all these figures will come with plenty of accessories. Now, then we've got these losers. Big Bird. Who even cares? He's just big and yellow, like lame. Okay, Oscar is cool. Oscar was actually, he worked for the Muppets. He's actually undercover for the Muppets on the set of Sesame Street. That's why he hides in the garbage can, because he's actually a Muppet in disguise. Super Grover, Gonzo takes him. No contest. Not at all. But here, now that we're on Sesame Street, we're just going to sit on the greatest Sesame Street character right there. And to say greatest, let's see, who's still acceptable? The Count and Cookie Monster are also acceptable, but of the three, Oscar is the man. So now let's keep this train moving. Anton, absolutely, they need Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. Skew, Yoda intervenes to cease Muppet hostilities. Or Fozzie, he could do it too. Sci-Fi Batman, why did you do it? Mad Hatter, you of all people have the gall to ask me that. You ruined my life. I was willing to give you any life you wanted. Just, oh my God, Sci-Fi, you're right. How did I forget that? Oh, thank you, sir. There's the Mad Hatter episode, ladies and gents, that I couldn't, like I was picturing it, but I couldn't remember it. Oh man, that was a great episode. Oh man, I'm going to have to go find that now. Thank you for the reminder, sir. Now I feel a little better about life. Skew, Star, we have no idea yet. Maybe. Ghost Have, I meant Civil War, a la Marvel, all out war. That's going to be glorious, Ghost Have. But I mean, yeah, you said Civil War. I mean, I didn't know what you meant necessarily there, but you say it, and my mind just went to Gettysburg, which is terrible. I'm bad people. Star, those Phenomenon Muppets look custom made for a Jabba's Palace stage diorama, replacing Sly Snoodles and the Max Rebo band. Star, that could be a good idea. And actually, I'm looking around the room right now, just throwing in Muppets for like the wackiness of it all. Like I'm sitting here with Gideon right in front of me from taking that picture. Just put the Phenomena guys with him and see what happens. Or put Miss Piggy with him. Oh, see, that would be hysterical. The Muppets just, I mean, it just writes itself when we're talking Muppets. Skew, Muppets are getting accessory packs and maybe a stage playset. If not, we'll ask Ace to go for it. If it costs too much, maybe. Nah, they'll hook us up, I think. Muppets are a big deal for a lot of people. Sci-fi McDonald's characters were made by the same guys from Sid and Marty Krofft, who did all of their characters. I did not know that. There's so much. You guys know all these things. I know so little. Jason, so as kids, we got toys in our Happy Meals, and now we get Happy Meals with our toys. That's fair. That's a good call, actually, because, yeah, we don't get anything cool. Like kids today don't get anything cool. They don't even get like a sticker in their Cracker Jacks anymore. Like we used to get rings and stuff. Poor kids. This is why, I just feel bad for kids these days. They have all these crazy electronics, which we didn't have, but we had plastic rings, so we win. Star, what exactly is Grimace anyway? I believe the correct term is a purple. He is, in fact, a purple. I don't know, honestly. Skew, McDonald's figures run up into Chuck E. Cheese. Heck yeah. Where do you think all the mascots go for their birthday parties? They all go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's what makes Chuck E. Cheese sad. He has nowhere to go but the place he works when he has birthday parties. Pixelated, Grimace is whatever you want him to be. Yeah, Grimace is the friends we made along the way. Skew, Star, the world may never know. Speculated to be a gumdrop, but ain't no telling. See, Star, doesn't he represent milkshake? So he's a living milkshake? Possibly. I don't know. Skew, Oscar teaching the kids, let's see, /seeds, useful words like scram. Yep, that's what's up. That's why I think Oscar actually probably hangs out with Statler and Waldorf. That's actually what I would probably do. Those three would just be hanging out all the time. Anton, Virginia Woodcutter guidebook is what one of the triplets has in their hand. Really? I've got to go back and look more, don't I? Mr. Matson, those triangle or treat buckets are the Happy Meal versions. Nice. See, that makes sense, though, that they would be sitting there. But I think what's going on, like I'm thinking when it comes to the ultimate figures like Grimace and Ronald and Hamburglar, is they'll come with those regular cardboard with like the golden arches handles. But you're right. I did notice that. I should have said that yeah, those are the trick-or-treat buckets from Mickey D's. Anton, there is a theory out there that Oscar the Grouch is really a Time Lord. See? And the trash can, the TARDIS. Star, Jason X, LOL. Yeah, that was quality. Skew, let's see. Anton, Trax. Yep. All right. Let's keep going on these. We're almost to the actual photogenic stuff, and it's 8:23. All right, now we've got the 2012 Turtles. We've got Casey Jones. We've got the Footbot. We've got Metalhead, Slash, Splinter, and Tiger Claw. Now tell me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kind of speed round through the Turtles. The thing here is they're probably not articulated that well, but they're going to have plenty of accessories. And obviously NECA makes things look just right. They paint them up really well. Who out there is getting the 2012 Turtles? And now we've got the Archie Slash along with Leonardo in the tux. That's from the cartoon. And then, wow, I'm kind of all over the place. These are the Fortnite Turtles. And I'm curious, they did say in one of the videos that I watched that these turtles were bigger than most of the others. So I'm guessing they're not 1/12. And yes, I know that NECA advertises itself as 1/10. But unless they're the movie turtles, they seem to be smaller and playing more in the 1/12 range. These might be closer to 1/10, but I don't know. And they looked all right. But these are ones that we talked about in the last live stream where these really don't look like turtles. They look like dudes with like turtle hands, feet, and heads. But I do think that if you put these kinds of straps and gave this kind of look to something that looked like a turtle, it would look pretty cool. The Shredder looks good, though. I do kind of like that. And then we've got also from the Toon, we've got the other sets here. We've got Donatello in construction gear with all kinds of stuff. So I'm guessing a lot of turtles come with quite a bit. It's just for whatever reason they gave Donnie all of it there. Then we've got Mikey hanging out. And we've got Raph as a sailor. So that's pretty much it for all the stuff that I think will probably count as photogenic, but I'm not sure because I don't see all the things. And NECA classically doesn't exactly load up on the articulation. So now what I've got is the stuff that actually is considered photogenic. And that would be starting here with the G.I. Joe classified overkill. Now, before I wasn't so sure. I wasn't sure whether I would consider this photogenic or not. I think I'm giving it to him simply because he can swap out the hands for some of these accessories. Now, Overkill isn't a character I'm necessarily interested in, but if you are, I think this guy would work pretty well. So right now, just so everybody is aware, we are on the photogenic portion of tonight's live stream. Now we've got Taurus and Red Dog, and we knew that these were coming. I mean, we've already seen these pictures, but just to make it official, Taurus and Red Dog, extra hands, plenty of weapons. Red Dog even has the kicking, like the football on the tee. And Lenny brought up something in one of his interviews that I'd forgotten about, and that Red Dog got called for roughing or something, and he's the kicker. And anybody that knows football knows that's kind of hilarious. So yeah, you don't mess with Red Dog. And then I love listening to Lenny talk about what all went into the design of this stuff. He was saying that because because he's Turkish, they did a lot of Turkish design work in his weapons. And I just think that's really cool that they look at that detail. And then, of course, Zanya, in front of everyone else, in front of Overkill and in front of Taurus and Red Dog, if I see Zanya out in the wild and she's on discount, I'd probably end up picking her up. I do think she looks really cool, but I have no attachment to her. I just think she's cool. She's got the swamp skier. So if I see her out and about, it's not something I'm going to worry about pre-ordering or anything like that. But yeah, there you go for the thoughts on Zanya. Now, okay, let me catch up on the comments. Then we're going to start talking Maximum Thor here, because I have things to say. Even though we knew he was coming, we saw him a little more at Toy Fair and everything else. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Maximum Thor. Anton, what dreams may come at the end. He says something for the lab boys to play with. What is it? The stuff that dreams are made of. Ah, I forgot about that. Brandon, remember they used to have commercials showing you what was coming in the Happy Meal? Now you won't know until you get to McDonald's. Man, I remember some of the Happy Meal toys were even cool. Like they had, was it Transformers? I remember that they had the Muppet Babies, and I loaded up on those. I'm like, heck yeah, man, I need these. And then they also had, I think, like, you could get their hotcakes, but they turned into something, like they were kind of Transformers, stuff like that. They had really cool stuff way back when in Happy Meals. Now it makes me sad. Star, back in the 70s, all the McDonald's characters represented a different food item on the menu. Grimace was milkshakes, chocolate specifically. Really? Well, I guess I can understand why he got painted purple instead of brown. But I'm calling him a purple. Mr. Matson, Junior Woodchuck's guidebook is the Boy Scouts of Duckburg. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Matson. I need to learn more or pay more attention. Skew, Super Grover made me happy. Super Grover's okay, but I gotta say, I mean, Gonzo's taking him down. I'm sorry. You're the second person that has said Super Grover's awesome. Gonzo wins. Anton, yes, Sid and Mardi Gras did not get paid for anything, and they did not get any credit. Sid and Marty, no, what were their names? I know who you're talking about, Anton, just because it came up early. Was it Sid and Marty Croft? Is that who it was? Because I know we brought him up, or you guys brought him up earlier. Skew, because Dave can make the most amazing war if he'll get sesame on sale, cotton and stuffing everywhere with Ken Burns PBS effects. Oh, just pop. Oh, no, that's bad juju, but I kind of want to do that now, Skew. Skew, your ideas are killing me because I kind of want to do them all. Anton, Grimace used to be a bad guy, had extra arms, and used to steal Cokes and shakes. Yes, I want that Grimace. And if NECA goes deep with McDonald's, then I bet you they make that Grimace. Brandon, I'm probably one of the few people excited for those turtles then. I don't think so, Brandon. I think a lot of people are pretty stoked. If you're talking about the Fortnite ones, I think that, I mean, they look cool. It's just Star brought up that he wishes turtles looked more like turtles again. And I can see that. I see where that makes sense. Again, though, I think they look cool. I just don't see them necessarily as the turtles. But hey, if you dig them, that's what's important. Ghost Tab. I have the NECA 2012 Turtles and Shredder, and they're okay. Not great. I'm definitely getting Metalhead, Tiger Claw, and Splinter. I don't care for the rest. Just okay. That's too bad. That's too bad. I didn't want to hear that. Mr. Matson, the human face in Overkill is awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty sweet. Skew, Mr. Matson, facts. Sci-Fi, Grimace's family came in different colors. Remember his green-colored uncle that shows up on St. Patty's Day? Hamburglar versus Cookie Monster. Oh, man, who wins that? I mean, one just wants cookies and the other just wants hamburgers. They probably just hang out actually and plot on, okay, this is how I get hamburgers. Okay, this is how I get cookies. And then they just trade secrets back and forth so they could get more successful in their stealing of hamburgers and cookies. Star, I wouldn't mind seeing a depiction of TMNT as specific turtle species, a snapper, terrapin, box, and tortoise, maybe guest appearances by friends, a soft shell and a sea turtle, real turtles, please. Star, I think they're kind of doing that. If you look at The Last Ronin, so there are 4 turtles that happened after The Last Ronin story that many of us know about. And I think they made them all different kinds of turtles. But look into it. I'm not 100% on that. Mr. Madsen, Max Thor looks terrible in my opinion. You know, I'll talk about him in a sec. Sci-Fi. Big Bird and Grimace would play patty cake with each other, probably. And then Kermit would just mow him down. Except maybe Grimace, because who doesn't love a milkshake? Star, Brown Grimace. Wow, Dave. I mean, you know what? You said chocolate shake specifically. That's why I'm sitting there saying, well, there's probably a reason they didn't make them brown. Skew did not work. Make them purple. They're mishaps in potty training, Ronald. Make them purple. Pixelated. I like that Hasbro is trying to do something different with Max Thor, cloth goods, and the head / hair swap. But I don't know if I need them. All right, let's get into Max Thor here, because I pretty much got up, unless the chat kicks in again. What do we have? 8:33. We'll talk about him and we'll get out of here. So what Marvel has done here, what the Legends team has done, is everything I've asked for. So what is it about this that drives me crazy? And yes, it does bother me that he doesn't have a spinning hammer. That's not the deal that everybody else is making it out to be, though as a maximum figure, Jack Kirby drew Thor with the spinning hammer. He should have the spinning hammer. What bothers me, and it took a little bit to figure it out. Actually, maybe the last pick is, but maybe not. Hold on. And it took me, I couldn't figure out what I didn't like so much about him. Look at the heads here. Look at the face sculpt. You know what bugs me about Maximum Thor even more? Well, maybe not more than the lack of a spinning hammer, but like he's got a ball peg waist. He's got the cloth goods cape. He's got everything I have been asking the Legends team to do. But the faces that they sculpted for him look more like they belong on Titania or Anaconda. Like these are not Norse god faces. These are not manly Thor faces. These are faces that look like they belong on a big, strong female figure. And I think that's what got me. So I was like, what is it about these faces that's driving me crazy? Like this one too. I'm telling you, I see Titania more there or Anaconda, like I said, than I do Thor. Let's zoom in here. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what's driving me nuts when it comes to the faces of our boy Thor here. That's the problem. Like everybody has said, I've heard a lot of people sit here and say that Thor just doesn't, that they don't like the faces, but I've never heard anybody say why. And it took me a bit to figure it out. But genuinely, he looks like his faces belong on big, buff female characters, except She Hulk. She Hulk is supposed to be pretty. This could go on Titania and Anaconda. So yeah, that's the thing. That and the lack of a spinning hammer really bugged me. And what kills me is at Toy Fair, they showed this Thor next to, I think it was like a 2012 or 2014 Thor, and that Thor looked so much better. Yes, he was older, so he had less of the articulation that we've come to know and all that. He obviously didn't have the cloth goods cape, but his face looked like a Norse god Thor. This looks like Anaconda or Titania. So it just, standing him next to that just exacerbated that difference for me. Skew, yeah, a classic all-out version for Thor and Hulk would have connected better. I'm not even worried so much about the classic. Like, I like this look. I would have picked it up. But the faces, ooh, Uncle O Grimacy. I like it, Brandon. Skew, green and brown grimaces, still problems, Ronald. Purple it is. That's true. Ronald's like, Grimace is supposed to represent the chocolate milkshake, guys. So let's just make him brown. And everyone around the table is looking at him like, okay, Ronald, I hate to break this to you, but yeah, he's going to look like a certain emoji in the future. Well, what's an emoji? We can't tell you yet. We're Time Lords, see? We came from way up there. But yeah, it's, yeah, although the green milkshake around St. Patrick's Day makes sense, I don't remember any of that. So I'll have to go back and look. I do like Grimace being evil though. That makes sense. I likes it. Skew, spinning hammer would have set it off, and the right outfit, hands and capes are dope. Dope Throg too. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, could they have gotten rid of? I like Throg, not gonna lie, but they didn't need Throg. Could they have gotten rid of Throg and maybe one of the faces and use that budget to throw in a spinning hammer? I don't know. Brandon, it's incredible when you think about how the last time we got that Thor was, I think, 2012. Maybe it was that year then. Skew, yeah, Hulk and Thor, the head sculpts seem off. Star, looks like even that Thor fig himself is ticked off about himself. Looks like he's yelling, look at me. What the hell is going on here, Hasbro? Look at me. I'm hideous. Skew, only the art style fans love it versus do a classic version first. Jason, it bugs me how the plastic silver discs on the chest are sculpted / detailed, but the two below his belt are just painted plain silver and they don't match. Triggers my OCD. I should have looked at that. I might go back and look. Actually, hold on. Let me hide the comment. Oh, I was hoping I'd see him easily there. Star, well, if this Thor could transform into a military vehicle in a dystopian Earth, I think that would smooth out a lot of the fan anger. Just my 2 cents. Star, I think you were here the night, like I was talking about how I just don't have it in me to get mad about this stuff anymore. But I didn't like the face and I couldn't put my hands on what it was. And then I was looking at it more today and I figured it out. And I was kind of excited because, like I said, everyone else has just said, I don't like the face, but I came up with a reason why I didn't like the face. So I was kind of stoked about it. Pixelated, the budget couldn't have been wrecked by Throg unless they no longer have the mold for the spinning hammer. Maybe. I mean, that could be. The only reason that I said that about Throg is the paint, and paint seems to be at a premium these days. Let me go to, because you're right. I mean, they had the spinning hammer with which Thor first came with that? I want to go see what Jason's talking about. Hang on. Oh, it does look. Oh, it looks weird. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I gotta see if we can get a better view. Oh, we're gonna talk about Motu before I get out of here real quick too. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So on the cloth there. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that, Jason. That's something that for a maximum release, it should match these. Oh, that's even like I thought that I saw some difference here, but it's not much. This is rough though. Let's see, Jason, see the painted discs. Nice catch. Wow. I did not catch that at all. Ooh, that's rough. That's going to leave a mark. Let's just leave it here. Well, I can't because I'm going to go to the next thing. So Battle Cat looks really good. Everybody, if you get a chance, Pixel Dan did grab he was able to unbox the He-Man and the Battle Cat from the Chronicles line and showed the articulation, and it looks great. So I just wanted to let you know when I saw the package samples for these, they all have extra hands. So I'm thinking the Motu figures here, we're looking at articulated goodness like mad. They've even got at the base of the neck, they've got articulation. At where the neck meets the head, they got the articulation. They're good to go. Extra hands makes them extra photogenic. These sculpts are good. I think Chronicles. This could be the line, not the movie line specifically, although I still really like that Skeletor. This could be the line that kind of makes me go back and get a few He-Man figures just to see what's up. Because these are really good. I'm going to leave it there, in fact. I like that Skelly. That's the Skelly that I put in the thumbnail. Star, wow, looks like even Asgard isn't immune to financial inflation. They're even cutting back on Thor's wardrobe budget. Yeah, man, I mean, they gave him the wired cape. So did they cut back on the budget or did they just keep it the same and decide to skip on the discs? Jason, it was the first thing I noticed as soon as they showed him. Pretty much instant pass for me, unfortunately, or fortunately for the wallet, I guess. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's all about the wallet. Anton, while this was a lot of fun, remember, guys, buy more toys, buy more comic books and graphic novels, and always have fun. You too, Anton. Thanks for coming out this fine evening. We're about done anyway. Skew, I'm excited for the scale change to 6.5-inch for Chronicles and DC for crossing over with Classified and Legends. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. 2027, the toy aisles are going to look vastly different than they do today, and it's going to be kind of cool, I think. Skew, take care, Anton. Whoo, Star, take care, Anton. Excellent pixelated Star. All the money went to Odin's big gold throne. That's probably it. Him being Odin and all. He needed the budget. He's got to make everything else really cool. I was trying to come up with names of places in Asgard. I couldn't. I failed. He's got to do repairs on the Rainbow Bridge. That's what it is. Star pixelated governmental waste strikes again. It's fair. It's fair. All right, guys. So that's it. That's our recap of Toy Fair. I'm going to be putting up a video about Toy Fair in the next day or two. Plus, look out Sunday for another Under the Light segment. What I'm going to try to be doing is releasing 2 videos a week in addition to the live streams. I really want to grow this channel. So be on the lookout. And that's what I got. So thanks as always for coming by to hang out this fine evening. You all know the drill. You could have done anything, but you chose to hang out here with all of us, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. This is where I hit end stream and things get weird. Enjoy your gator.